Welcome back to Storm's art class. Today we are going to be talking about bouncing ball and weight. So this particular bouncing ball is sort of like a basketball. If I hit play, it has relatively good bounce and no squash. So the keyframes are the beginning, hit, mid-top, hit, mid-top, hit, end. And we're just good, there's just in-betweens between that. Here is the same thing, but flat. So, for like the bouncing ball that's basketball-ish, it's just gonna go down and then bounce back up. This is where you bring in slow in and slow out type thing. As it's going up, it's going to have more frames, which will slow it down. And then when it's going down, like you see here, it gets more spaced apart to create the illusion of speed. And you can show, you can add more or less weight depending on how high it's gonna bounce and how many times it bounces. Like this one, it is more like a bowling ball. It bounces, hits, and rolls off. Showing here, it's only bouncing really about one time. And then it kind of bounces, not really, here. Once again, you have the spacing to create speed and then slowing up before it rolls off screen. At the end, you can see there's a lot of frames at the end because of the slow out concept. When I was creating this, you can see in the background I was doing markings of how I wanted it to bounce and where it would hit the ground. That is good for planning as well as doing your keyframes. This. These are your keyframes. And in between those keyframes, you have in-betweens. So about here, 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 and here. And then in between the in-betweens, of course, you have more until you create a bounce. You can always do frame by frame, but frame by frame is more good for fires and unpredictable things compared to something you want solidity in. So you would start by creating your first frame and your last frame, so you know where it starts and ends. And then your major points will be your keyframes. Then of course you add your in-betweens, and if you're just doing your in-betweens, then it will be more blocky to say. But once you start adding in-betweens to your in-betweens, then it starts running smoother and smoother. I can't say do not. I would not suggest adding too many, because if you add too many, it's not going to look as natural. And most things follow a curve. Most things in nature and everything in action follow a curve. This goes for like character animation too. If it's like a head turning, the head is also going to follow a curve. There's always going to be some kind of curve. That is going to be all for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.